To U.S. tariffs on Canada that are set to kick in next Wednesday. In 2023, nearly half of all U.S. toilet paper imports came from Canada. And Canadian producers are warning if the U.S. imposes a blanket 25% tariff on this country, well, U.S. consumers could face everything from toilet paper price hikes to supply shortages. For more what's behind these concerns, we're joined from Quebec City by Jean-Francois Samray. He's the CEO of the Quebec Forest Industry Council. Good morning.
Good morning.
Listen, we've talked about water, we've talked about electricity, we have talked about potash, now we're talking about toilet paper. The U.S. produces about 90% of its own toilet paper, but much of the materials that the U.S. factories use comes from us, from north of the border. In 2023, as just a setup for viewers, 51% of U.S. wood, pulp, and paper imports came from Canada. So how reliant is the U.S. on Canada for toilet paper?
Well, for time being, you're precisely right. The NBSK, the Northern Bleached Softwood Kraft, is coming from Canada. It's essential to give to toilet paper, to tissues. It's softness, but it is strength as well. So if there's a tariff added to Canadian paste or final end products, it will end up to being a pass-through to consumers, and sadly, it will definitely increase the cost of living of all U.S. consumers.
When you say supply shortage in toilet paper, a lot of us remember the pandemic, those empty shelves going from store to store, trying to find and then conserve the toilet paper that you have. If the U.S. imposes these tariffs next week, how serious is the risk of something similar happening again? How long would it take the effect to kick in?
Well, it would all depend of the how much companies have in their back room, but on their shelves. But one thing for sure is that during COVID, the industry all came up to the consumer and saying, "Hey, relax. We are an essential industry. We have workers that are manufacturing the goods, so you won't run out of them." For the time being, it is not the same situation now, because if there's shortage, people will go to buy the materials in order to not get to pay a higher price. So it will all depend, but one thing for sure, it will have an effect on the consumers. And how will the consumers react? Well, that's something that can be risky.